Welcome back to your boy, Just On Time Entertainment. I want y'all to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that anytime I drop a video, you guys are ready to go. Leave me any type of comments. Give me any type of feedback. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what I need to work on. But I told y'all. Sigh equals sigh. Now, see, I waited a couple days because I wanted to see if anybody would touch on what I'm about to touch on when it comes to Jalen Hurts. But it didn't seem like none of y'all did. Jason Whitlock, he kind of went there a little bit, but he wanted to tie Shedeur Sanders into it. So I'm not going that route. That's Jason's personal thing with Dion and Shedeur. Don't need to go and touch that. But I will go ahead and stick on Jalen Hurts. I told y'all when it was 1-0. I told y'all when it was 2-0. I said I didn't give a damn if they went 10-0. Didn't I say that? Because I looked at A.J. Brown's face. I looked at Saquon Barkley's face. Hell, I looked at their coach's face, who looks damn near 70 years old because of the amount of stress he has on his back. The only person that was happy with those wins was Jalen Hurts. You know why? Because he got the booty push a couple touchdowns and make himself look good. Fluff the numbers.
Brotherly shove again. Hurts is in. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
But I was at my boy's house one of these days, right? One of these games. This was like maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago. I was at my boy's house. And I remember Jalen Hurts throwing 25 passes, and he had under 100 yards. And I looked at him, and he said, you know what, dude? You hate on Jalen Hurts. I said, I don't hate on him. I said, football hates on him. I think his arm mechanics hates on him. That's just facts. We're going to dive into it right now.
Hurts picked off. Intercepted, and now the ball's out, and Hurts ends up with the ball in his hands. He fumbles. Chargers ball. Troy Dye ends up on the ball. And what a mess of a play. First to Sean Hand.
Interception. Fumbled by the defense, recovered by the offense. Fumbled by the offense, and recovered by the defense. Change of possession.
There you go. Scott Novak takes you through the play. As it was an interception by Deshaun Hand.
That's a great play.
And then the fumble. Then Hurts gets it. Then he has it knocked out. Then Troy Dye gets it.
By now, y'all have seen the game, so I'm not going to waste y'all with a bunch of film on what Hurts does, because it's not even pretty to watch. It's not pretty to even watch. Y'all know what he did. 4 interceptions, 1 fumble, 0 touchdowns, 40+ attempts passing. Again, 4 interceptions, 1 fumble, 0 touchdowns, 40+ attempts passing. Now, can you imagine if Dak Prescott did that? And yes, I am a Cowboy fan, but I'm not a delusional Cowboy fan. I think my team is exactly where they should be at. They are a team that is a 500 team, maybe a little above 500, but they'll get a tie every now and then on some stupid stuff, like they do. But I'm just imagining. Can you imagine Dak Prescott doing what Jalen Hurts just did? Stephen A. Smith would be on TV losing his mind. He'd have his cowboy hat on, copying Shannon Sharp's do-rag. He would have his cigar, copying Shannon Sharp's, having his blunt, and having his Swisher Sweet, like he used to do on Fox Sports Network, right? But he don't say nothing about Jalen Hurts. Ain't this amazing? Now we're going to dive into it now. I've tried to explain to y'all that when you have a quarterback that's a gimmick, it never works. So yeah, you got a Super Bowl out of it. You need to be happy about that. But I also want to remind Philadelphia fans that you also got a Super Bowl out of Nick Foles the same year that Carson Wentz should have probably been the MVP of the league, right? But he got hurt. Nick Foles stepped in. He made a run. He beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. We're in that same Super Bowl. Tom Brady threw a record, playoff record, not just Super Bowl record, playoff record, 505 passing yards. Still stands today. Nick Foles beat him. Where was Nick Foles 2 years after that? Not with Philadelphia. And I'm telling you, Philly fans, Jalen Hurts should be on the clock. Should be on the clock. You guys are lucky. Y'all can eke out a few wins. Inching them. Booty push by booty push. Small touchdown by small touchdown. Lucky that you even have 8 games under your belt. That's a fact. I'm just keeping it real. Because nobody else is going to keep it real, right? They're going to skirt around the topic. Jalen Hurts. I told you guys in the beginning of the season. I told you guys a couple weeks ago. I told you guys last week. I'll be here again telling you the same goddamn thing. All I have to do is read body language. Now I'm an ex-athlete, right? Never went to the pros, played D1 college. But I know how athletes think. In particular, I know how locker rooms work. I know body language. I know how people think. I know how they look, their faces, their eyes when they're looking at people, looking at each other. And genuinely, I don't see happiness across that team. Even when they're winning, there's no happiness across that team. You know why? Because I think that coach is still steadily trying to prove himself, even though he's the reigning Super Bowl winning coach. He's trying to prove that I can win with Jalen Hurts. Well, guess what, buddy? You already did. So that booty pushing crap, null and void. You don't have to do it anymore. You need to sit Jalen Hurts down and say, hey, listen, it's time to evolve. We're taking that play out so it's not a crutch that at any moment we get in a 4th and 2, 4th and 3, we're just going to booty push. No, you need to throw us out of this situation. And you have some of the 2 most talented receivers in the entire NFL, and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Now, remember, Devontae Smith won the Heisman Trophy in college, which is very rare for a wide receiver to do that. That's a quarterback's trophy and at worst, a running back's trophy. I think Charles Woodson won in the 198 at cornerback, but you got to do stuff that's out of control, special to do that. Getting back to Jalen Hurts. They keep talking about Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown drama. There's no drama. I think A.J. Brown is just frustrated because he is a Hall of Fame talent. He's Terrell Owens 2.0. 6'3", 230, fly, jump, strong, possession catch, deep ball catch, across the middle, post routes, slant routes. You can even hand it off to him, reverses. He can do all that. Devontae Smith just sits out there and he just fly routes and nothing comes his way. And then they get into these 4th and 2s, and guess what they do? They trot out the entire offensive line, which you can visibly see they're tired of doing this because it takes a toll on them, as Jason Kelce. Yeah, Travis Kelce's brother, who's retired now.
Push on the brotherly shove has become this big thing.
Yeah.
You're at the bottom of that every time you call it.
Yeah.
What's the suckiest part of being at the bottom of the tush push?
Man, all the weight and everything line up on top of you, and you got to wait for everybody else to get up before you can get up. It is a grueling play for sure, and if you do it right, you're at the bottom. You know what I mean? If you're not at the bottom, it usually didn't go well. So when you're at the bottom and everybody's on top of you, and you're crunched up and you're waiting for people to get up, and then hopefully somebody's left to help you up after that whole ordeal. But it's as long as you got the first down, you're usually pretty happy with it.
Because he was no longer wanting to do that. And they dive at everybody's knees, and everybody piles on top of each other. You're talking about dudes across the line anywhere between 310 pounds to 350 on top of each other. 10 guys. You add the weight. And Jalen Hurts gets to just walk into the end zone unscathed, like he's the man. But all we'll do is we'll judge Patrick Mahomes for his performance. All we'll do is we'll judge Matthew Stafford for his performance. We'll say Jared Goff ain't it for his performance. We'll say Dak Prescott's overrated for his performance. We'll even look at little midget Kyler Murray and say he shouldn't have been the number 1 pick. Hell, you remember a couple weeks ago when Shedeur Sanders got his bell rung? We judged him for that. But when it comes to Jalen Hurts, for some reason, y'all back off. That's your guy. Well, since he's on the commercials, he's the reigning Super Bowl MVP, it is time to give him that same treatment. What's going on? What do you see? What do you see? Hell, I kind of wish that Jalen Hurts responded kind of like this.
Guys, I choked harder than Patricia Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and I turned into J.J. McCarthy out there tonight. I just became the first player ever to turn the ball over twice on one play. I'm making history out there every week. 4 interceptions and a fumble. I saw Mahomes and Lamar Jackson take a dump yesterday, and I took that personal like Jordan. You're not going to out-ass me, bro. But A.J. Brown was the main reason we lost that game, bro. This bum cries like a baby after games for not getting the ball, and tonight he got the ball and decided to fumble balls like he attended a Diddy party. Get that baby oil off your gloves, man.
Jalen turds, you little trash can. I just lost my underwear on Kalshi, bro. I had the Eagles to win, and you sold that game like your life depended on it. I'm calling Kash Patel and the FBI to investigate you, bro. Enough is enough with this garbage. I have nothing to wear now. Let me borrow some underwear if you got any. Thank you, bum.
Bro, go investigate A.J. Brown. He's the one that kept dropping easy catches like he had a nasty 100 grand on that game. Honestly, at this point, I'm willing to go to jail instead of playing with these bums every week. At least I'll have less stress there.
Hey, that would make for more compelling TV if Jalen Hurts actually said that. For disclosure, that's AI. It wasn't him. He did not say that about A.J. Brown. He did not say that about Philadelphia. He did not say that. I'm saying that would be hilarious. Be more compelling TV. But what I'm going to tell you guys right now, I looked at your schedule. I would say, like I said last week, I'll be here next week saying the same thing, but y'all got the Raiders. So I'm sure Jalen Hurts will booty push for like 2 touchdowns or maybe throw for 2 and then, maybe have about 4 touchdowns and everybody will be, oh, he's back. Here's the MVP. He's rolling. And then you got to get the Commanders. No Jaden Daniels. So you'll have a couple good weeks, but then you get the Bills. That's when I will be back, December 28th. So on the 29th or the 30th, I will be back because I will definitely drop another video before New Year's Eve to talk about Mr. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. But like I said, look, y'all can say what y'all want to say. I want to know when Stephen A. Smith is going to come out and write a column for the Philadelphia Inquirer like he used to do for 17 years, like he likes to remind us all the time. When are you going to write a column on Mr. Jalen Hurts? You afraid? Afraid of not being able to go back to Philly? Come on, bro. As bad as you talk about the Philadelphia 76ers, you should be all right. You got security guards with you. Ain't that what you said when you was, when LeBron confronted you? You had your security, and then that man would have put his hands on me. I would immediately swing on him or swung on him. Immediately. Ain't that what you said? So you should be all right. Sigh, Eagle, sigh. It's Just On Time Entertainment. Once again, like and subscribe. Hit that bell right there. Notifications. That way you know when I drop a new video because I'm coming with that fire. This ain't it. Philly, you don't make it to the playoffs. My God, this is going to be hilarious. If you do, you're 1-0. And I'll be here for it all. That's it. I'll holler at y'all later. Thank you. Leave some likes. Leave some questions. Leave some comments. Let me know what I need to change. Let me know what I need to update. Let me know how I'm doing. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Peace.